Going camping tomorrow. 2-night solo, bushcraft style. And the question is, do I bring a gas stove with me? Or do I just stick with a twig stove? Twig stoves just burn twigs I find in the woods. Not really bushcrafting if you bring a gas stove. It's probably sensible. I say no. Let the weather bring what the weather brings. If I have to burn fat wood all the time, I'll go hungry. Yeah. So the lesson here is one should never tempt the gods by making crazy statements like let the weather bring what it may, because it can bring a whole lot of anger, it seems. And away we go. Yeah, isn't this a beauty? They predicted heavy rain. I guess we're getting it. Oh my. It is horrible. You see that large Canadian flag blowing more or less horizontal left. That looks like a rain crossing over the horizon. So I'm wearing a showy GT Air, and I'm telling you, there is no air. This is the suckiest, shittiest helmet for fogging a person could ever buy. And the problem is, when it fogs up, you gotta lift it up, but in the rain, then you get soaked. And that sucks. But I now gotta lift it up and I'm getting soaked. I gotta close it and I'm gonna be dry and foggy. Dry and foggy. Did I mention wet? Oh heavens, the Betsy am I wet. Ah, redemption. Sunshine. Whew, a little bit cooler. Oh, 30 degrees, maybe not cooler. Pretty windy after that storm. Pretty windy all the way up here. But windy and dry. It's better than the windy and wet. Beaver Dam. Oh, campsite. Oh, the motorcycle. So, I hit the tail end of a tornado coming in. That wasn't too wet. Holy shit. Turns out that storm I drove through was a tornado. Lots of downed wood here to make a fireboard and a spindle for a bow drill, I hope. Looks like it. Although it could be very damp, could be hard. And I gotta go find some sticks to build what do you call it? Some tripods to hold up my tarp. Because all I'm camping with is a tarp and a bug bivvy. We already have chipmunks running around somewhere. Great. They're there. Your little turd head. Eat the damn chips. That's what it's called. A chipmunk is going after barbecue chips. Get a close-up? Oh, you're not afraid at all. I'm gonna have to snare you. Look at your cheeks full of my future supper. Dog. All right. So I have to go out and find myself a stick about this high, about nipple high or so, to hold up my tarp. I'm gonna set up a long triangular tarp, a long pyramid tarp, under which I will put my bug bivvy and a sleeping bag. And that's how I'm going to sleep tonight. And hopefully it won't be pouring too hard, although it's supposed to rain tonight at some point. So we're going to go walking through the woods and see what we can find. Grab my axe, my saw, and go for a little walk. has to be reasonably straight. We just passed a couple of small ones, but I see something laying over there. Already down. Looks about right. Oh, yes. Look at that. Nature will provide. Provide rain. Provide cloudy skies. And provide some sticks. All right, we've got a little, I don't know, some kind of evergreen. Oh, it's punky as hell. That's no good at all. See that crack right in two with one dinky little tap? We gotta find something bigger. Maybe that boy over there. Punky as well. I think anything solid will have been already used for firewood by some schmo. All right. Well, I'll come back to you with something solid, because this is going to take a while, and it's going to require more than just, my microphone is hooked. It's going to require more than just a little video effort here. And it's getting dark, I got to get some stuff done. So I found a proper stick, not too rotted, but boy, this is swampland where I've managed to reserve a camping site. And yes, it's a reserved campsite because I don't own a wood lot where I can cut down, 10-foot logs and that are this round and have all-night fires. I'm going to be running off later to buy some firewood and, try to stay warm, try to make a small fire to boil my water and make some supper. So we'll put this aside for now and we'll set up the tarp. Generally, this seems to be the driest area in this little swamped out campsite. Holy moly, is it a swamp. So I had to cut some fresh line, some fresh cord. It's just that reflective night eye style cord, but I just bought a spool of it on the way out here. So I have to seal the ends, and I have no matches, I have no gas stove, I have nothing here except a ferro rod is my most reliable source of lighting, of fire. So I'll use, this is just 3 strands of number 7 binder twine braided in typical braid, like your sister used to do to her hair, or your hair if you were subjected to that kind of thing as I was. Fluff up the end a bit, you got it all fuzzy. Super fuzzy, the more fuzzy the better. Fuzzy bear. Just squished it. Put it against the spine of your blade, if it's nice and sharp. Just squatted it, and you give it a strike. Oh, so close. Fuzz it up. There we go. Now we have a flame, right? And I can melt my ends. Yes, sort of. It's slow. You can choke up the flame a bit with a little piece of rolled up beer can. There we go. Choke up that guy. And of course it works like a wick, right? The flame just draws the wax. Oh yeah, it's impregnated with wax. I soaked it in candle wax from tea candles. Or you can buy paraffin or whatever you have laying around the house. Melt that baby boy down. This guy down. Come on. Get away. Don't stick. That's not what's supposed to happen. Well, I woke up this morning. It's 13 degrees. I think we can see that in the watch in the bottom there, just above the word Sunto. Yeesh. Good morning. So, survived the night in my camp. There's my side case hanging to keep my steak for tonight away from the raccoons or the bears. And of course, my Africa twin, my campfire, and my tarp. This is the tarp we had last night. We got slowly set up. I would normally put down that corner down there to close it off if it was rainy. But otherwise, this is the inside. I don't know what we can see here. I'm using an old GoPro and the screen just turned off, but that's the inside of the tent or the tarp, and I just lay my gear all just beside me there. So the other way to start a fire is using Flint or Chert and a striker steel, and that's what I'm going to do this morning to start a fire, to get my water boiling. Last night I cheated using a wick, as I showed you for sealing the ends of the ropes. But this morning we'll use striker steel and Chert and light a piece of char cloth and get some tinder going. Okay, so I've got a small problem. The only tinder I could get is a very, very fine branches from the hemlocks laying around here. But they're also a little bit damp. Everything around here, all the leaves are damp. It rained like hell yesterday, as you saw. So all the leaves are damp. All I have is those little fine hair-like twigs. So I'm going to have to use a piece of charred fungus, and I'm going to take some shavings off of some fat wood. Fat wood, of course, is the resinous wood you find in pine trees. You can see perhaps the color of this wood. It's extremely kind of orangey, reddish pink compared to, imagine a typical piece of pine wood. So I'm going to shave some of that onto the birch bark. That's what we're going to collect on the birch bark. I'm going to shave it using the back of the knife. And then I'm going to spark it with a striker steel and a piece of Chert. Thanks, Wally. I'm going to need this weekend. I'm going to be stuck. And I'll get that set up and we'll be back to you. All right, so I'm going to take a piece of char cloth from this tin. It's just charred denim, actually. That's my weights of my G5 mouse. I'm going to take a piece of this, a decent amount of it. And I'm going to catch a spark off the Chert. Let's see if I can do this in the camera. I'm going to do my best to try to do this in the camera. Take a sharp edge of the Chert here. You can see I've used this quite a bit. And I just strike it with the edge of the steel, and I should catch a little spark right there. There we go. See that little spark right there? That little ember glowing? I can take that. I can take a decent little piece of char fungus, blow on that, burn my fingers. Nope, not like that. Leave my gloves on. And I'm going to nestle this in my pathetic little bundle here. That'll smolder for a while. That'll get the fungus burning as well, I'm sure. Right? Guys, you going to work with me on this? All right. I'm going to take my shavings, sprinkle that on top of here hopefully without smothering it all. Fire. And that's why I wear gloves. So now, I don't know if you can see in here, I gotta try to get it all transferred into my already prepared fire tower, which already has, there we go. There we go. Yay, I'm going to have breakfast, thank God. More important, I'm going to have coffee. All right, so that's burning away. And I can now put a pot on the stove. Time I'm going to be preparing my supper: steak, potatoes. The potatoes are going to be cooked in on the coals with some butter, some garlic, some shallots. Oh yeah, thanks shallot. And whoops, the sauce from creamy bacon carbonara used with the Knorr creamy bacon carbonara. Used to be Lipton's, now it's Knorr. So that was a discovery, accidentally, on our last camping trip, a family camping trip a week ago or so, where we forgot the spices that we had brought. They got packed back into the cupboard, and we didn't end up having them for our supper. So I'm going to put this in here, just like that. I'm going to melt. Oh, look at that. That's how you process garlic. Give it a crack, and you drop it in. Take that goody part back. Where'd you go? Oh, yeah. Don't want to cut into the table, but we do want the garlic. Yes. Just put that like that, and it'll fall in. Yes. Whoops. This knife is a Grants Force Brook knife. It comes razor sharp, like literally no problem shaving with it. And with a little care, you maintain it that sharp. And since you're only cutting wood and not like crap with it, you can use it for your food. And so one device does all, does most. We are recording, This morning I was recording and I didn't catch the fire starting. I'm going to have to do a dramatic reenactment when I get home, maybe. What in the hell is that shit? Oh, okay, maybe the axe is meant for everything. Let's get some of the old oil off here. I coated in olive oil. What's my fingers? And my fingers are a mess. That I agree with. Look at that. Better than most people's knives in the kitchen. Look how fine that is. Oh yeah. Drop that in there. Come on. Somewhere I've got tin foil. And after the tin foil and the onions, we will just reach into, a shot of my crotch, reach into the tickle trunk, grab the seasoning. This is the creamy bacon carbonara seasoning. So maybe it's kind of a lot, I don't know. Put that over top. I was going to have two potatoes, but one of them rotted on me. So much for the two potato approach. Can't get enough of that Sugar Bear Sugar Crisp. And then, of course, butter. And that's all going to go with a nice boneless rib steak. And, of course, headstock India Pale Ale. Ooh, the best balanced India Pale Ale ever made from Nickelbrook. Now this, I'm just going to pinch it off. Ooh, what a motorcycle. All right, so this trip has actually been about just trying to survive with no matches, just wood, axes, saws, and my knife. And so in the morning, I have to get my what do you call it? Get my little stove, my little twig stove to boil my water. And I need small tinder for that. So twigs basically, since it's called a twig stove. So I've got to do this in the evening to make sure I've got some wood for the morning. I have to, these aren't the pieces I chopped, maybe it is. So I have to baton these guys. And they're chipping really funny pieces, but that's okay. I just whack the heck out of these guys. Chop them down to twigs. I use the twigs in the twig stove. Once I get the fire lit, either by char cloth or whatever I have handy and easy. But let me tell you, nothing is easy when you're working with no matches and no gas stove. It's a lot of work. There we go, little pieces, big pieces. That's not going to work that way. So get this ready at night, so in the morning I don't wake up the neighbors hammering wood. There's a few other families here, including some little boy who's definitely not having a good time camping. He's crying all the time, the poor little guy. He should learn to play with fire. He'd be crying for joy. The potatoes are done. I'm just getting a good bed of coals with some oak going. It's the only hardwood we have, oak and birch. I don't want birch to cook my steak. The steak is going to go on this little grill. I'll move that big grate, put it on this grill. And of course, Montreal steak spice. Get that without a reflection somehow. There we go. Yeah. My coals are pretty much right where I want them to be. A little bit of flame, lots of heat. Just going to let them do their thing for a moment. I'm going to put this on the fire. Never leave home without a good set of leather gloves to play with the fire. Keep the potatoes warm, moving burning wood. There, and that's precisely why you never leave without a good pair of leather gloves. These are just Yard Works Canadian Tire Specials lined for winter or fall, I guess, I don't know, but they're great. All right. La meat de resistance. I guess I just use my fingers. Oh baby. It's effectively hung an extra few days because it's just been sitting there raw for a while now. Okay, dying hours of the day, dying light, my steak, my beer, my potatoes. Let's see what these babies look like. Yuck, these clothes are disgusting. I shouldn't have at the table. Oh, potatoes with onions and garlic, oh my. Please don't fall off the table. Nice and soft, perfectly cooked. Open fire. Look at that. Like it was made to be eaten. Well, that's it. That covers off. Oh my God, that beer smells so good. Time for supper. Dying hours a day, dying hours a trip. Tomorrow morning I pack up. That's my headlight, sorry, it's pretty dark right now. And then we're done. I pack up tomorrow morning and I'm off home after an awesome, excellent 2-night, 3-day motorcycle adventure with steak, beer, and lots of fire.